position where you can get
I'm
back
sorry,
to start.
1 second. I'm like running the Snapchat. I gotta put it on the story real quick before I forget. Sorry. Yeah, I'll leave. I won't put a caption on there because that'll take long. All right, now let's go.
What does it mean to you to have this team's confidence to try to get you back to the form that you had in Kansas City?
Oh, a whole bunch, man. Obviously, me, myself, I make sure that I have all the confidence in myself. But obviously for people around you, a team, staff, players, fans to show that as well, it augments to my remaining, the confidence that I already have.
There's still potential that you can bring in another striker. Do you welcome that kind of competition?
More competition the better. That's how we ensure as a team that we're putting the best product on the field. And I mean, as a player, are you going to get better if you're not being pushed by, the players around you in practice?
Jim said this week that after being down at the Combine, he was good with the decision to trade a first-round pick for you, just based on what else was out there and the opportunity to get you was better than what he could have gotten at the 10th pick. What does a statement like that mean to you?
Well, it means a lot, obviously. I like to think that my 4 years being in the league, I have experience and I know the ropes to the point where probably somebody that's just coming into the league would have a little bit more trouble with. So him making that statement shows that obviously they have the faith in me. But like I said earlier, where I am in my career, I really have a lot to prove to myself first and foremost. And when you're in that kind of state, it obviously will trickle down to all the other aspects of people that are expecting things out of you.
You played against a lot of these guys up. You also played with quite a few of them in Reading. Mm-hmm. How much has that familiarity helped you get off the ground quick?
Oh, you hit the nail on the head. Obviously, the guys that I played with, guys Wenger, Ray, those are guys that I know I'll slip into a comfort zone fairly quickly with. But also, you get to know a lot about a player and a person when you're going against them. And playing in Kansas City, we had a lot of matchups with the Union and very competitive matchups. And that's the one thing that really drew to me from this team. So, like I said, being in those heated battles with these guys, you learn a lot about them. And that just makes the whole experience that more enjoyable.
CJ, you guys played sort of an up-tempo 4-3-3 kind of high press system in Kansas City. It's really not that different here, single striker up high, more of a 4-2-3-1 kind of thing. Do you feel comfortable making that transition?
Oh yeah, I've kind of been making the transition my whole career, and that's one thing that I'm actually in debt to Kansas City for, because moving out wide and changing my game to be defensive and be all out at all moments of the game has just made me made me assimilate more things to my repertoire, if you will. So I'm actually excited now. I know I can play at the point that's where I want to play, but if something happens where I get moved to the wing, I'm completely fine with that too. And obviously in games you want to be interchangeable with your forwards as well. If somebody is making a run and I see that there's open space, I'll just drop back and I drop in their position, and that just helps the team all around.
How much have you talked to Andrew? I mean, on paper it seems like there's some similarities. He was a guy who had trouble getting in Montreal and then comes here and has a really good season, really finds himself. Have you talked to him at all about that process that he went through, and is that something that you seek to be similar to?
I didn't, directly speak with him, but I'll tell you something about being a player that is, has, aspirations to be a professional soccer player. That was me and him at Reading. So a lot of the conversations and experiences we had there, I feel like we just get it. We just get each other on a certain level that kind of transcends words. So.
Can we expect some pretty good goal celebrations out of it?
Oh yeah, I'm bringing it all back. I'm bringing it out of the oven. So I'm very excited about that. Especially just this team, they love getting service in the box. And me as a player growing up, I just stayed in the box. Just sniffing things out. And I see a lot of tap-ins and scrap goals, but the celebrations will not be scrappy. So.
Do you see, what are your emotions on a day like today? Obviously, the SuperDraft, there's a lot of guys whose careers are going to take a big step today. Do you think back to your past and what are the emotions on a day like today?
There's always going to be that nostalgic effect. I can't wait to get in there and kind of mess with all the people, all the draftees or future draftees, because, I would have liked that. You're sitting down there, your family's there, people are watching, watching out for you. You start sweating, your tie gets undone, getting crooked and all that. So I'm going to try and go over there and try to loosen them up a bit. And ultimately, once they do get picked, even if they don't get picked, it's not the end of the road, and either they'll get picked and they'll start a new career and they'll be very excited about it, or they won't get picked, and they'll go back to the drawing board and they'll try to figure out another way of getting into the league.